Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snipes Castle, the U.S. Navy Sailors Podcast. Again in the house is me, Senior Chief D. LaMonica, retired Navy. All right, we got a good show for you today. All right, let me introduce the cast that's on. We're on live. We got a real good story for you today, and we got some awesome interviews coming up. We got DCF and Hutchinson, where we could talk about the little alcohol incident on the Cape, not the Cape St. George, but the full show. We got DC1 King we could be talking to, now retired as well. We could be talking about the incident, the hazing incident. We got Brianna Witherspoon talk about her uh, time on the carrier. And we got a other host of interviews coming to you live on Snipes Castle. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna bring in the cast. All right, that make the show go round. At the stage. All right. Banners. Welcome, Snipes Castle. Brand. Four. Oh, we could take you off here for right now there, Art. All right. I got the crew here. We got M. Brooks. All right. That's the man with the plan with the VA. If you need anything, questions answered with VA, that's the man answering. What's up, M. Brooks?
Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Good. And we got our own chat GPT living, breathing, and living. Hirsch Terrell. What's
Yo,
going on,
yo,
Hirsch?
good.
Again, everybody, welcome to Snipes Castle, the Sailors Podcast. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into what we call Scuttlebutt News. Scuttlebutt News. Got one topic for you that's sort of interesting and it sort of coincides what we're talking about today. All right, in Scuttlebutt News. So let me get us straight. This I like this one better. No, I like the other one better. Let's do that right there. All right, Scuttlebutt News. All right, what we got for Scuttlebutt News is USS George Washington completes a 6-year overhaul. All right, a 6-year overhaul. You know, when we on the y'all been on the I know you've been through a yard period, right, Hirsch?
Yeah.
You've been through a yard period, M. Brooks?
Absolutely, been through a few of them.
All right. And we talk about yard periods when we talk about the different classes of ship and what a struggle it is to get through that yard period. Once, trying to get out the yards. And sometimes you're going worse off than when you came in, right? And the stress level is high because you're working long hours, right? You're working long hours. You're trying to get the ship ready. Plus, you got, this inspection that's bearing down on you, right? And sometimes a little stress is good, you know, because it helps you, you know, focus more, and it sometimes drives people over the edge. But if a yard period stresses people out to the point where they're committing suicides, that's bad. And this George Washington, the extended midlife maintenance overhaul during the pandemic was challenging as a vital function. Mathis said it had to get done, but the sense of purpose for many sailors was difficult to find, he said. All right, this is USS George Washington, their yard period. You know, during its time in the shipyard, there were 9 suicides among the George Washington crew, including three in 1 week in April 2022. An initial investigation found life stressors contribute to the life-ending decisions of 3 sailors, but concluded the deaths were otherwise not connected. A second investigation was launched with the purpose of evaluating the challenges unique to a shipyard environment. According to the findings, which were released in May, there was a failure in maintaining a suitable Navy standard after sailors reported constant noise and cold temperatures aboard a shell of a ship that was periodically without hot water and power. Any of y'all ever experienced that in the shipyard? Or they put you on
Oh,
one of
absolutely,
them World
absolutely.
War barges?
I mean, we in Portsmouth shipyard, I can remember. We, of course, we had to live on the barge, and the barge itself was horrible. I mean, and then somebody smart decided, hey, we need to get most of these people off the barge into temporary housing until we can get out this yard because these barges are atrocious.
Yeah, yeah, they're old. I mean, like World War barges. I mean, they're crazy. But this is some of the stressors in the Navy that a lot of sailors go through, and that's the yard period. I remember my first ship, they said, yeah, man, well, on one of the shows, I was like, yeah, we're going to the yards, they gonna fix everything. Man, that was like the worst time I ever had in the Navy. Worst time. And I'm telling, when on my first ship, the thing is, we was maximum manned. Like in engineering department on a Forrest Sherman, engineering department had what 45 on a good, when we really manned, you're talking about maybe 55 people. All right, on my first ship we had 45 to 50 GSs in one division. All right, now that's a maximum man department. All right, let me bring on Velvet. All right. Joining the cast is our resident secret agent, the lady that knows the woman side of the Navy that can tell you, you know, what's going on. It's our secret agent, Crypto Tech, retired, Miss Velvet Love. Give it up for Velvet. She here with us today.
So happy to be here. Apology. And
No problem. But yeah, we was going over what was I saying? I saying, the minimum most of these ships are minimum manned. And like I said, my first ship had almost 45 to 50 GSs. And then all the engineering department on the Forrest Sherman, when I was department LCPO, had 40 had about 50 people in a department. And that's ridiculous. What kind of quality of life you gonna have with a minimum man ship and you got so much things to do. But that's what drive the stressors. And then you got to look at. I remember an admiral. I can't remember the admiral name. He came and talked to us, and he's like, these inspections. I know you get under some stress, but a little stress is good for you. And right, in a way, he's right because I mean, being stressed in the shipyard is different than being stressed out. Getting hit by a missile, or you're going through a CBR attack or something. That's a different level of stress right there. When you got possible people screaming, dead bodies, ships, you know, go in GQ, and the real stuff is going down. You got anything? Anybody got anything to add to that? But you're sounding.
absolutely,
Go ahead, Velvet.
I absolutely agree. That is when it matters on who really paying attention, who really was realize the importance when you have to, secure and get it together to save lives.
Yeah, yeah. So them stresses. I mean, it's a good thing, to get stressed out a little bit, but it helps you when you get to that real stressor, when you in that GQ situation. That's the main thing. So, it's unfortunate, you had 9 suicides on the George Washington during that a 6 year. Can you imagine being in yards for 6 years? That's
It's a long
insane.
time.
I mean, we bitch about being in the yard for like 6 months or 9 months. They've been in the yard for 6 years. That is
Right.
crazy.
That's like somebody taking orders to the ship, never seen the ocean.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, you go on there and say you can do a whole enlistment on there and never go out to sea, you know, be in the shipyards the whole time. That is crazy. But 6 years, that's a life on the carrier. And our next guest, he was on the carrier, and we got another guest, Brianna Witherspoon. She was on the carrier, and she'll tell us she got a oh my god, she got a story about that carrier. We can't wait for that. But they out of the yards now, and hopefully they doing well. The crew of the George Washington. All right, so y'all get it together, get out to sea, and do your thing out there. Crew from the George Washington, give it up for them for real. 6 years, that's insane. All right, so what we're gonna do now is banner from Scuttlebutt News, Snipes Castle Live. We're gonna bring on our guests. I first met uh, Art Minx on the Forrest Sherman, and he was a first class that came back from an IA, which we got some questions for him about that IA. It's a crazy story about this IA. Y'all gonna flip out. But he came on as a first class, made chief, EMC, made chief on there, and was an instrumental part of us getting through our, Mobby inspection, which I'm gonna go into, LOA, Mobby, and from then on, after that, I retired and went on. But he made a chief warrant officer, and he was a retired chief warrant officer. All right, so I'm going to bring on our guest. Everybody, give it up for retired chief warrant officer Art Minx. All right. Once I get it together, we get five. Boom. Let me bring order in. There we go. All
Morning.
right. Snipes Castle Live.
Eh,
Welcome, Art, to the
Good
show.
morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good
All
morning.
Morning.
right. Snipes Castle Live. Art Minx. Okay. Now, just as we've been talking about the yard period for the George Washington, and they had 6 suicides over that yard period. No, did I say six? No, they had 9 suicides. I'm sorry. They had 9 suicides and 3 in 1 week. So for those of you who are new to the channel, who don't know anything about the Navy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map out, with the help of Art Minx, our uh, inspection cycle, almost like a life cycle of the faux show, up until the fallout at the end, which is unbelievable. All right. So this is what I'm talking. This is the life cycle of the ship. And for you, the active duty guys out there, if your wife, asks you, why are you coming home late? You was coming home early before. Why are you coming home late? I'm working hard on the ship. I got an inspection to go through. I don't believe that. You know, you can have her watch this. You can have her watch this. And hey, look at this. This is what we doing. And I'm gonna
Yep.
go explain what we going through. All right. So, all right, this is the life cycle of a ship. All right, I'm doing it from a cruiser because I'm a destroyer cruiser sailor. All right, you carry it. Yeah, that's a whole different beast. That's 6 years of yard period. All right, that's crazy. All right, but we got Brianna Witherspoon and Art Minx here because he went through a yard period. Who knows it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so life cycle of ship. All right, so ship. I'm gonna start from a deployment. All right, the ship comes back from deployment and usually go through this intermediate maintenance period, or you go through a yard period. And for our instance, we went through a yard period. All
Yes.
right. That cruise could be from 6 year long, come back, it all depends, but you go through an maintenance period or yard period. All right. Prior to leaving, getting underway from that yard period, you have to go through an inspection. All right. It's called LOA, light off assessment. I remember way back on my first ship, it was LOE, light off exam. All right, but it's LOA, light off assessment. All right. One thing about the yards, because the ships are not maximum man, um, you go to long working hours trying to get this ship out of the
Mm.
yards. Can anybody attest to that? Anybody
Yes.
experience that, right?
Yes,
Anybody
I
want to speak
can.
on that? Go ahead.
Yes.
All right. But long working hours and quality of life, it's just gonna get bad because of the long working hours. People go get upset. You're prepping the ship for space walkthroughs, safe to train. You got to get everything pretty much pristine for these inspectors to come through your ship. I remember on my first ship, it was what you can hide from the
Mhm.
inspector. I'm serious. What you can hide from the inspector. When I was a fireman, they used to station 3 or 4 firemen with a cooler of water because it's so hot back there. And what we do when the inspectors left the space, we run out and we'd wipe up everything, all the leaks we had, and we go back under the NMRG and we wait. That's what he said. It's how much you could hide back in the day. I remember I told you about that MRG leak. Shit, you need a wipe on it 24/7 just to get up all that oil that was leaking on that bad boy. Ain't no way you could. But they stationed us. I mean, during our what was called OPI, Operational Propulsion Plan exam, and they stationed us under the MRG, and we ran out there and we did wipers, so the inspector wouldn't see it. All right, and but now, I mean, zero leaks, minimum fuel leaks, about zero fuel leaks, minimum lube oil leaks that are considered controllable. But this is when people start cracking, right? When you go to them long working hours, telling people, "Hey, we go stay late and we go come in early." Anybody ever experienced that?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, coming in early, people start cracking.
Yep.
Now at this time, Department of LCPO, I got to put together a watch bill. Okay, 2 sections, 2 drilling sections of my MVP watch standards. Section 3 is my bench, basically. It's my bench. These people I can pull over, if I need them. Hopefully I won't, you know. But these my 2 MVP section, my A squared away watch standards on this uh watch bill. All right. So then, you know, people going through a lot on the ship, there are long working hours, people not getting off on time, people got to come in early, and then, now people start dropping like flies, right? You know, first one I think that really hurt me the most was Ian 3 Rivera Diaz said, "Hey, senior chief, man, I'm getting out the Navy." Now this is an A ganger, right? This is an A ganger that was a freaking awesome engine room operator. Did drills better than some GSs. It's a shame when another person that's like me coming up to your CT world, uh, Velvet, and doing your job better than you. And it's like, what is GS doing up in here? Doing your job better than us. So you got this A ganger who's an awesome ERO saying he got to get out. When you lose a person like that, what you lose in not you losing a body, a worker, you losing experience. Experience. Watch standard, using somebody that is good at his job. And he said he was getting out. And I was like, God, so what I gotta do? I mean, we minimum man. I mean, it's like playing chess. All right. So I gotta move somebody over to fill in Rivera Diaz spot from the bench. Not as good as Rivera Diaz, but he'll do. Hopefully we can drill him up. So I moved somebody in Rivera Diaz spot. Then you got HT3. I don't know if you remember this art. HT3. Hey yo, senior chief. You know, uh, I've been drinking too much, you know. So he go to the Dapper. The Dapper is like the alcohol person on board the ship. They manage the program. Go to the Dapper on the ship, say he drinking too much. I know you know who I'm talking about, HT3. So he
Yeah.
goes to that program to dry out. Another smart dude, awesome wash stander, engine room operator. Another, guy that comes down into the GS world, making us look kind of bad, because he's a good watchstander. All
Yep.
right. That's two of my MVPs gone already. He going on a 90-day dry out vacation. I remember Chief McGregor, because I was supposed, we supposed to go visit him, while they over there drying out. And Master Chief McGregor now, or then was Chief McGregor said, hey, I went over to see McLaughlin, and I was thinking, I was like, I wanted to go over there because I was going to kick him straight right in them nuts, you know. Oh, you because I was mad. That's two people gone right there. Two months. So I had to move somebody over to the bench, right? Off the bench to that watch team. Not as good as McLaughlin, but they'll work, right? Then the one that really, another one that really hurt, GSM1 Miller. All right.
Yep.
I rank this dude, GSM1 Kenneth Miller. I rank him in my top 5 smartest GSs I ever met when I've been in the Navy. You meet, when we was talking about just them people you meet that, dang, you was doing this before you got in the Navy. Can take apart a gas turbine, put it together. I mean, this dude was with down there with Simma, Marmac, you know, taking apart our generators, putting them together, all that stuff. You know, smart dude. And he said he was getting out the Navy. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. My pack operator, propulsion auxiliary control console operator. I'm like, this is getting bad now. This is getting bad now. So what I had to do, move somebody from the bench over to his spot. He getting out. You know. Now in this watch bill, I mean, ain't looking too good. Just them three right there. I mean, the chemistry, because these people they've been together, and now the chemistry off. Now, we got to do a lot of drilling. We got this yard period going on. We're working late hours. That really gets to people. Shout out to DC1 King. Thanks for joining, King. Um, Now my watch bill has how I got to fill the point. Yeah, I have put I got to the point where I had to put firemen on the watch bill. That ain't even ran no drills. I mean, that's how
Yep.
minimum man we were. It was not like on my first ship. Man, you can lose like 5 people and still have a damn 4-section watch bill. On my first ship, we had like 40 to 45 GSs, considering we only had like 50 to 55 people in all the engineering on the Forrest Sherman. That's ridiculous. Not counting the number of A gangers, EMs, D seamen that stood watch. Hell, on my first ship, the D seamen, all they stood was sound and security. They didn't even have to qualify any other watch. All they stood was sound and security. And they got mad when they had to stand that. The DC ones didn't even stand watch, because we had so much people. But so prior to LOA, we was going through LOA. And then, I think we only had 4 chiefs at that time. And then Art Minx, you know, said, hey man, I think you had to get that, you got that surgery right before LOA, right?
Yep. I had knee surgery on my right knee.
So he had to get knee surgery on the right. He said, I can be here. I can be here for you, man. I can put it off. So, I have to tell, we only got 4 chiefs. It's me, EMC Mason. I think Israel had made chief at the time. We still a first. I can't
No,
remember.
he was still a first because I was the A
Yeah.
division chief.
Okay, that's right. He was A division chief and EM division chief at the time. All right, because we didn't have a chief. So I gotta look at Art and be like, hey, just schedule your operation sometime and possibly maiming him for the rest, going up and down them stairs or whatever, maiming him, even hurting him more. So I just said, man, go ahead and get your operation, man. And we'll make do. I couldn't let him go through that, but he needed surgery, surgery on your feet, right?
On my knee.
On your knee, on the knee. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't let him go up and down the lat because that's what he could do, running around. So we got 2 chiefs in the first class, basically going into LOA, this light off assessment. This is us coming out the yards, having to light off this plant right here. 2 chiefs and the first class. EM1 Israel. What Israel first? What Israel full name? You remember? Rashad Israel, right?
Rashad Israel.
Rashad Israel. He made senior chief. Deserved that. He was awesome. EM1 was awesome. Awesome freaking EM1, man. Oh my goodness. You know. But he was acting chief when Art left, and he was a very instrumental in that. All right. All right. During this whole time, all right, I told you about the losses of the individuals I had. I'm having issues. I'm working this washboard almost like a chessboard because people are dropping off. And during this time, people go be late. People go do stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they did something stupid, they would come to me and say, "Hey, such and such was late," or we go write them up. And I said, "Man, I can't afford to lose nobody else. I can't afford to lose nobody else. If I write this dude up, the way stuff was going, he would go get kicked out or something, get put on restriction. And then if you get put on restriction, they say, oh, we don't even trust him to stay on watch. So I can't put him on the watch bill, right? They ain't gonna let him stand on watch during on inspection because they don't trust him now. So I'm like, hey, write him a counseling chit.
Yep.
Just write him a counseling chit, and we'll get back with him later.
And
But people got go ahead, Art.
the counseling chits just started piling up.
During these time, we faced with offenses by individuals that were up. Counseling chits can't afford to lose. This is where it begins. I mean, we just start writing counseling chits. We couldn't afford to
Mm-hmm.
lose anybody else. Couldn't afford to
Yeah.
lose people because we needed people to stand watches. I mean, we had firemen that just came in on switchboard operators because we didn't have enough switchboard operators. We did
Yep.
evolutions with them, and that's the worst thing you could do, really, because you ever put a new person on the watch bill, and you go through an inspection,
Yeah.
and if the inspector asks them a question, what they go do? Oh, I ain't qualified. I'm not qualified. Oh, they just qualified me. They start splitting the beans. They start telling the inspector everything, right? And
Yep.
that's what they did too. That's what they did. I'm
Yes.
like, you gotta be telling me, right? You gotta be kidding me, right? All right. So we get up into the LOA, the light off assessment brief. All right, that's the in brief. It's me, EMC Mason, Chang, all the divos, and EM1 was up there. Israel was up there, and you know what the inspector said? He said, "Y'all don't got enough chiefs to accomplish LOA. Y'all can't do this safely." You think that stopped them from doing LOA? Do you think
No,
that
it did
stopped them from
not.
doing LOA? No, no, no. Everybody was like, "Whoo, we don't got to do LOA." Yeah, right. Get ready. We be coming down. Yeah, right. We went through LOA. So I'm who's supposed to be in CCS managing the code checks going on down in the spaces. Now I'm in main 2. You got EMC down and main 1, managing main 1, and you got EM1 with the A gang. A gang is on everything from the forward part of the ship to the aft end of the ship. They own everything. A gang is on everything. And he had to do them checks, and we got it done. We got it done. Bunch of counseling chits already stacked up already. And Art just reminded me, EMC Mason at the time had made chief warrant officer. He had made
Yep.
chief warrant officer, and he didn't even wait to get back to port. They boated, they small boated him off the ship. He, he's like, he knew it was coming. Oh, he knew it was coming, right? They small boat him off the ship.
Yep.
He ain't even, I mean, they left, you know. Now we got to go through Ma B, drilling watch sections. I'm still, got working with my bench, the people here. All right. Then you had this DC3, he's working these long hours or whatnot. I think he said some craziness to Chief DCC McGregor. He said some craziness. All right,
Mm-hmm.
if you stressed out, do what I do. Go back to 3Gen and scream. All right,
Yeah.
just go back to 3 Gen and scream. And they's like, oh, I seen you going back to 3 Gen. Yeah, you know what I'm going back there to do. You caused me to do it. All right. I'm going back there to scream. All right. You know, but he said some craziness. Guess what he is? DC3 is.
Mhm.
He's another one of my MVP watchstanders. Another one of my MVP watchstanders. He said this craziness. Now he going to the fifth floor at Portsmouth.
Yep.
The fifth floor at Portsmouth. I got a sea story about fifth floor at Portsmouth when I went to get him. All right. I got to say that for another time, but that's a crazy story. But he goes, so that's another one of my MVP watchstanders gone, right?
Yep.
So he's gone. So we drilling daily, long working hours. Me and EMC Mason, no, me
Yeah.
and somebody else in the dang intakes painting.
Yep.
A senior chief in the intakes painting, you know. And when I was in there painting, I always thought back to when we talked about when I said when I was on my first ship and I saw my first department LCPO, Senior Chief Jones. Shout out to Senior Chief Jones out there. And I was like, I want to be that guy right there. That's who I want to be. Man, he just sitting in his khakis all day and just chilling in the engineering log room all day. Needless did I didn't know he was doing all this stuff. I know I never see Senior Chief in intakes before. He inspected them and then he left. But I never seen him painting before, you know. And I was like, dang, you know, how far have I fallen? Damn Senior Chief down here painting down here in the intakes. But yeah,
Yep.
I mean, we were so minimum manned. I mean, I had to go out there and start working, turning wrenches. It was ridiculous, you know. And you know, I remember you brought this up in one of our recordings, Velvet, about how they was you know, going through this downsize. And I think I remember when I got on the Peterson, I think that's when they got these, you know, they changed the PFA, you know, made it a little harder for people, you know, not realizing, okay, I remember my first ship. I mean, they went through, I mean, there's some dudes that was out of standards. I mean, it was, you know, out of stand. But I think when I got on the Peterson, that's when they changed the PFA, they changed the body fat. Then they came out with high year tenure. And then when they came out with high year tenure, it was hard to find a second class. I mean, a second class GS. I'm like, are there any more second classes left? Because so many people had gotten discharged because of, you know, the PFA, high year tenure. They do all these different changes to downsize, and now
Believe
you
me, I
know.
know about how your tenure, but that's another story.
Oh yeah, yeah. We discussed that. That's on another show. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But we didn't have this. Most of what we had was third classes, and that's why I keep
Yeah.
saying the third classes really got us through got us through this inspection cycle. These third classes that I mean just stepped up unbelievably, you know. But we was going through this Mob E. Mob E is basically drilling, you know, space is safe to train,
Mhm.
two drilling sections, and uh a GQ and one of those. So like I said, we drilling daily. Um and instead of report chits, we still writing counseling chits on some of these same people. I mean, these
Yep.
counseling chits stacking up to like damn near 5 and 6. I mean, because we trying to keep this watch team together. We're trying to keep this department together. So we have the manning to get through this inspection. After the inspection, you think everybody would, you know, just go back to normal, you know, normal working hours and everything. You think that? You think that? Okay. So, so when everybody went home, the thing is, when everybody went home, you know, after working these long working hours, it was when did you come? You came back before Marby, right?
Yes, I did. I came back shortly after LOA. I took my 30 days of convalescent leave and then came back to the ship.
Yeah. So after everybody left, you know, that didn't know, you know, I stayed there and I was doing drill packages. I mean, a whole lot of drill packages. Man, I was going through like, the boxes of papers, just doing these drill packages, and then if you mess up, what you gotta do? You gotta run up some more. I mean, I was doing even Chang was like, yo, man, you wanna get? I was like, nah, I gotta get it together myself. And then when we get to these briefs, these engineering training team briefs, it was McSwain and Voiton, GSM3 McSwain and GSM2 Voiton. Now Voiton is GSMC. Shout out to GSMC Voiton. They call I think his last name is German, so we used to call him Wu Tang. They called him Wu
Yeah.
Tang, you know. But those two helped me, because they saw the mistakes and they let me know, and that's the thing. The senior chief is there to guide everything, but it's all about the team getting us through this inspection. It's all about the team. Everybody got to contribute, from damn firemen all the way up to senior chief or all to the officers and divos. It's a team thing. And if the
Hmm.
team ain't, on the same page, like some of these clowns that were getting all these counts and shit, you know, it makes things a whole lot difficult. So I'm staying there to midnight, sometimes 1 and 2 in the morning doing these drill packages. And then I gotta be, we said, so I think we started coming at 6. Sometimes at 5 in the morning,
Yes. Five. Yep.
you know, trying to get ready to work another long day. All right. So we still going through this. So we drilling, and it was GSM3 walk-ins. I told somebody, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Israel. I was like, man, he failing every single dang drill. He's supposed to be my damn MVP, right? He's supposed to be my MVP. And I was like, I got to get rid of him. And
Yep. I
shout out to
remember.
GSM3 Walkins out there. I think he GSM1 now, right? I think he GSM1. I can't remember. I think he GSM1 now. But GSM3 Walkins was failing every drill set. I said, I gotta replace him, man. I can't go. I mean, this is like a week before we supposed to do these drills, right? And Watkins was like, Watkins said, no, just leave me on. Just leave me on. I got it. I got it. And I looked at looked at Israel, and I was like, he's like, what Israel's like, what you want to do? And I was like, all they could do is cart me off anyway, say I'm a loser. It's all your fault we failed. I was like, hey, let them run the drill. That, and that's what they do. Or they gonna have a scapegoat, right? They gonna have the scapegoat who's So I was like, go ahead, let them do it. So we went through the first Mobby and we didn't make it. We didn't make it the first time, right?
No, we didn't.
We didn't make it the first time. Didn't make it the first time. All right. So we had to go through there a second time. All right. EMC Mason gone. It's all on EMC Minx. Yeah. Chief Minx, me, Israel. All right. Um, all this is on us. But all right, what else I got? All right, so we going through this Mobby. So we had to go through it. We had to go through it a second time. And I'm still on Watkins. I'm like, man, he gotta go. And then he's like, I got this senior. So we go through the second Mobby. I was like, well, I might as well go get my things packed because I'm gonna be out. You go fail this a second time. And I'm gonna be out of here anyway. Gotta get ready for my new ship, right? So, but we go through this Mobby, man, and let me tell you, man, old GSM3 aced every goddamn drill on there. Aced every
Yes, you did.
drill on there, man. Aced every drill. Got his just do nam. Got his just do nam. I mean, they came through this time. Oh my gosh. And I remember the CO coming over the 1MC, saying, hey, I want to thank the engineers. They just completed their Mobby inspection. Thank God. But yeah, so we finally complete, gave out all the awards, everybody happy, And at the end, they done gave out all the awards, Liberty Call for engineering, sections 1, 2, whatever. Everybody's happy. Hey, everybody goes and leaves, right? Then the fallout after all this, right? So, in my back of my mind, I'm not even I ain't even worried about all them counseling chits or whatever. Hey, we moving on to better and better things, bigger and better things, right? But they kept doing the same stupid things, man. They kept doing the same things, man. I'm like, okay, so they kept doing the same things after the inspections. I mean, after the inspections, life is a little better. You're getting off early and you could still do the same stupid thing. Oh, don't you remember? You got like 5 counseling chits now, and now you know you're getting rolled up. Now you're getting rolled up. Now you not only you going to mass with these five, not on you're going to mass. You're going to mass with these 5 counseling chits, right? So I'm like, and that's what happened. The dang these it was 6, right?
Yeah, it was
Man,
6 sailors.
I ain't never been to them. I ain't never been in that many captain's mass ever in one division, one department. It seemed like we was going to mass every other week, man. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is insane. And they were still doing the same stupid stuff. Just like I said, you rolled them up. They went up with like 5 counseling chits. And the CEO, man, he was like, and then he asked, why wasn't he brought up before? I'm like, did you want to get through this inspection? Did you want people? If I was writing up people and you bouncing people, I would only have one section to run. I would only have freaking one section to run. I needed these people to get us through the inspection. And I figure they changed their tune once this inspection over with, but they didn't change the tune. So really, this is not on. A lot of people was like, damn, Chief Minx and at the time you was in charge of MP division, EMM
Yeah,
division, right?
at the time I had E division and MP division. Uh, but just like you said earlier, me and you, neither one of us actually wrote any of these up because they were out of our hands. Because when they went to the division officers, one of the sailors had 26 counseling chits. 26. One of the things you missed too, Daryl, is
Go ahead.
during all this, we also were running Mob D at the same time. So we were drilling Mob E in the morning, Mob D in the afternoon. We were doing Mob N navigation and the bosun mates they had there. So engineering had to support every one of these plus flight quarters at night. So we were doing all this at the same time. We had inspectors tell the CO, we're stopping your training cycle because you got sailors falling out, passing out in the middle of the P-way. You guys are going back into port and you're going to have to refigure this out.
Yeah, it was crazy. And one of the interviews I got about sailor, or we could talk about sailor fatigue, is I got GSM1 Nickerson, now Senior Chief Nickerson, coming on here to talk about me me and him on that watch during this time. We was on watch for 24 hours. 24 hours. We did an unrep, we did drills, we did flight quarters, we did everything that day. That day we was
Yep.
on watch for 24 hours. That was crazy. And they were saying I think they had a medical emergency because people was passing out, man, because of fatigue. I'm
Yeah, we
serious.
had we had a couple of medical emergencies during the middle of the fire from the primary fire team that's also stood flight quarters the night before. They were passing out during the middle of the drill.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Um,
All right.
One of the
But
sailors turned around and busted his head open. So
yeah, I mean, Velvet, your sound not coming through. But but yeah, man, that was a crazy time right there. I mean, that inspection. Any of y'all been through some craziness like that? I mean, you got all these different inspections going on at one time, and it's like you just ain't getting no sleep. and
Nope.
they expect the sailor to function during this time, and it was crazy. And I got relieved to go eat, and I had to come back, you know. And it's the same thing with Nickerson. He got relieved, he came back, and we still watched for 24 freaking hours during that time.
Yep.
And this ain't and all them write-ups, like Art said, wasn't all on him. He just inherited it. He damn, Art, never again volunteer yourself. Oh yeah, I'll take M division. I'll take M division.
Yeah,
So he had the EMs. The EMs. Go ahead. Go. You got some velvet?
I believe
You still breaking up, velvet?
so.
He had EM division. The EMs, I think, geez, you only had like,
I, I,
the
I had
EM,
two.
two EMs, Giamma Temple and Golden, right?
Yes.
That's ridiculous right there. Because I used to be up in port signing tags for Gianna Temple doing PMS up until sometime midnight, 1 in the morning on his duty
Mm-hmm.
day. And then he got to work the next day and wonder why the guy tired. You
Yep.
know, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. What, two EMs, the EM division, and that workload, that PMS workload, they got to do those weeklies, which is crazy. And they got to do all that stuff. So Art got the M division, EM division. Damn, Art, the only one you ain't had was R division, right?
Well, remember when DCC got fired after McGregor left, they were going to give it to me if Chief Messenger didn't show up to the ship.
God, I wish we could have. If I had known that, I went up to the captain. I was like, "Yo, keep Brianna Witherspoon and send this dude someplace else." This dude. I mean, basically, we could talk about that. We could talk about them Chiefs. All right, they just don't get
Ooh.
it. But this guy, I'm like, oh my gosh, So we had to put the MMC that came that was supposed to be in charge of A gang. We had to put him in charge of our division because this DCC couldn't get it together. MMC in charge. I mean, we got an EMC in charge M division. We got an MMC in charge A gang. No, in charge of our division because we didn't have any. We didn't have any chiefs um to take those spots. And then we had an ENC. We had an ENC, but he got caught up in some craziness with alcohol. I'm trying to get him to do the interview. When we'll see if he do the interview. But he got caught up. He was on. You just one of them dudes on track. Hey, you just got to go to the store and buy your senior chief stars, and you there. You there, right? And then you go do that one thing that you got to send a naval message on that just ruins everything.
Yeah.
And that's another story. But that fallout, that six captain masses, I mean, and it was not charges that you get restriction for 45 half month pay, man. But god damn, I mean, he was just bouncing people.
Yes.
Bouncing people, and if you got 25 constables, maybe you should get bounced.
Because of those sailors were all on their first, most of them were on their first tour. He was using failure to adapt.
Yeah,
He was using that.
and just bounce, and that's sick. And it's not all on Art Minx. Art Minx just took the reins of a division that required a chief, and he volunteered and said, "Hey, I'll take M division." And I'm a GS, and I ain't even want M division. you know. But he took charge of M division and took basically had to be up there for all six of them captain's masses. And they looked at him like, what are you doing? I'm like, didn't I explain this to y'all when we come out here? I'm like, I'm trying to keep this division together to get through all these inspections. That's why we wrote up all these counseling chits to keep these watch standards, because that's what we needed. We needed watch standards to get through these inspections. If I wrote everybody up, we wouldn't have a watch team. and they was doing stupid stuff, man. And they continued afterwards. And we had to once we rolled them up, you know, uh, whatever was out the bag, ain't nothing I could do, but get up there and say, hey, he's a good sailor, lying, just trying to, at least get your 45 and 45. But man, he was bouncing. And a little update on Roundtree. Remember we talked with Roundtree. You didn't
Yeah.
know who wrote him up. It was MA1 who wrote him up. It was MA1 who wrote him up. When he went down there to make that statement about, what had happened, she wrote him up for using the curse word. That's who wrote up Roundtree. And a little background on I meant to discuss him on the last time we was talking, but the guy that called him the N word, all right, I told you that seemed like he was, brand new to the States. He didn't know too much. And he was influenced by the guys in the he was at FSN, and they was throwing around the N word left and right. I guess he was using it too. I don't know, but I guess that's why he thought he could use it. But like when we went up to Mast, and I felt so bad for this dude, whereas, one person like myself, I could forgive him. You don't know who might not forgive him. So really, he was already a cancer, in the CO's eye. So he couldn't keep him there. You never know what somebody's going to react to that. Oh, you keeping up people that say the N word now? Damn, So they had to he had to discharge him.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the saddest things about that mass, when I went to that captain's mass, after that mass, and he came out the door, and he was like, he didn't even know what was going on. He didn't
Yeah.
even know what happened. He's like, Senior Chief, what they say? I was like, man, they just discharged you, man. He didn't even know he got discharged. And that was like one of the saddest times I had during that captain's mass was that dude. He didn't even know he got discharged, and it was just sad, that he was sort of influenced by those CSs up in there throwing around that word, and he just didn't know. He thought, just said the word, and once you say that word, I mean, you basically done. They can't keep you. So he got discharged. So that's a little background on him. But like I said, it's not all on art. It's really, everybody came to me at the time, Department LCPO, and I'm the one that said, man, just write him a council chit and we can roll with it. I need that dude. We need to get through this inspection. So it's really me making that decision right there, saying I need these people. It's not on art that these people went to 6 captains, man. And some of these people, they gotta take accountability for their own actions. I like give them a jail. How much time you got to get out of jail card free? And basically, you could just roll through there, keep your nose clean, and transfer to another command. And then those constitutes just go in the trash. All you had to keep your nose clean. They couldn't keep their nose clean for a damn month before they start going to mass. I mean, I'm like, damn, they start dropping like flies. Anybody ever had a situation where you had like just so many people go to mass? Anybody? Not you, Arx. I know you had the experience. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then, that reflected, of course, it reflected bad on me. And then they even at the CO thought it was all him, and it wasn't all him. That this was happening way before that, way before he even got the M division. It wasn't his fault.
Yep.
So if anybody ever think those 6 catamans were art, it's not art fault. It's basically me saying, by the council and shit, I need this dude as a watch standard. You had anything to say, Art?
Yeah, not really much on that. I mean, it was, they were stupid reports, failure to do a tag out for maintenance, electric shock, some of those cases, I mean, you couldn't stop it. I mean,
yeah,
they went up because they were big things. So, but during all this, we started doing InServe. So put InServe on top of that. Me and you were working after everybody left. Me and you were doing calibration at night so we could get through InServe.
We was kind of something calibrating something down in Shaft Alley, the line
Yeah,
shaft bearings.
the line shaft bearings, because the sailors that were doing the calibration during the day, they kept failing and couldn't figure it out. So me post knee surgery with my knee brace on my knee, climbing in that tight spot, getting stuck. That was interesting.
So
So
you got a senior chief and a chief electrician mate, the gauge cow, down in Shaft Alley, um, calibrating gauges, calibrating gauges and shit, right? I'm serious. That's what minimum man is doing to the Navy. Minimum man is killing the Navy, and now they, in Biden bill, he on a damn 500 ship Navy. Hell, they just missed 7,000, missed gold by 7,000 sailors. Seven, you can't even man a 500 ship Navy right now. Shoot, trying to keep up with China, but that
yeah,
minimum man, that thing sucks. You know, I remember on my first ship, they had enough people in deck department to paint the whole ship. Deck department
yeah,
had more people than engineering department. I mean, there were so many seamen out there to paint the ship. Now they ain't that much seamen. I mean, they barely got a deck department now. Now what you got to go?
mhm,
You got to go do topside preservation up topside. It's all good and everything, but that's when the ship was maximum man. The boatswain's mates could handle everything, and then the engineers could stay down their spaces, focusing on the spaces because that's. I mean, we got the largest spaces, and
yeah.
we could focus on that. And like I said, my first ship, we had like 50 GSs, not counting all the D seamen, the EMs, and we can roll through an inspection, do all the preservation we need to do. You had your own workforce all by yourself, So this minimum man Navy, man, this, and one thing when I was on a full show, it was like, man, if I start bitching about the Navy, it's time for me to retire. And that's when I started bitching. I started bitching. I was like, yeah, it's time to put them papers in. But I just wanted to clear up that with everybody about the Mob E. And it wasn't really all, it's not all on Art. Art just did the noble thing as a chief, stepped up to the plate, took over the division. When they didn't have a chief, I was like, well, I said, I'm gonna take it. And then Art was like, nah, man, you got too much to do, man. I'll take it. And you got an EMC stepping up the plate to take over division. And he took over that fallout from all those inspections, all those counseling chits that just carried over into 6 straight captain's masters. And that's why all them cats went to mass, you know, trying to keep that division
Well,
together just to pass this inspection. Go ahead, Art.
I would,
You had something to say, Art?
No.
Go ahead, Velvet.
I,
You got something, Velvet? You breaking up. You breaking up again,
I
Velvet.
would love
Like I
to
said,
hear
man.
art. Okay.
Oh, she says she wants to hear our point of view of the story.
Go ahead, Art. You get that?
So yeah. So my point of view, I mean, you know, I did. I saw. I saw. I mean, from the day I made chief, I didn't go back to E division. So, I saw an area where I needed to step in, and I stepped in. It. I personally would have loved to have had more control on the situations, but I couldn't help the guys going up to Mast for the things that they finally caught up with them. So it definitely sucked. Um, but it also made me look at the Navy a little different. Like Daryl said, as things were changing. The CO was making a name for himself. He was using the rules at his benefit, and he was letting people go, knowing that it was hurting his crew numbers. I mean, it wasn't just engineering department. He was kicking people out left and right all across the ship. So um, he even air gapped rankings for chiefs on board the ship because he didn't believe that although the senior leadership said people were ranked certain places, he didn't agree with it. So um, he just he was a CO that did what he wanted to do. So, we had a lot of hard workers for us, though. I mean, we came through a lot of hard times. Like Daryl said, we had 2 electricians to do all these inspections, all this stuff, and then we couldn't even man for NServe or any of it. We couldn't even man all the switchboards. We had IC-men being repair locker electricians because we didn't have enough electricians. So we had GSEs standing switchboard watch to help us out, and we had all, me and senior were standing watches for the actual inspection, inside CCS, which normally would be one of your junior, petty officers showing off their talents, but we didn't have manning. We couldn't do that. So
Answer your question, Velvet. She said, "Yeah." Hey, we gotta get you an iPad. We gotta get you
I
an
know
iPad or something.
my signal, but wow, but you did it. You did the best that you could.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was crazy. All right, but that was Mob. That was LOA, Mob B, and the Fallout. The 6 captains masses. All right. But yeah, you was talking about one of them, Doherty. Doherty. I think she did like 2. She had like 2 electrical issues, and you couldn't do nothing to stop that.
nope.
That was good. And then really, that GSE1, I think it was Whitmire. He was going ape nuts. He's going crazy. Oh my God, you got electrocuted. Oh my God, Doherty. I could see the look on Doherty's face because I was down there, and me being the person that always says, "Hey, who know about this?" you know, hey, let's just keep this between us. And that's what I would have done. But this dude started running around the engine room with his head cut off like a chicken, saying, "Oh my God, we got to get Doherty help. Oh my God." And you can see Doherty just sitting in the corner, just looking. I was looking at Doherty. I'm like, man, she knew she was going to Mast. She knew, and that was so. I was like, oh my God, this dude, man. If he just shut us, I wanted to clothesline him off the top of the MRG when he's running around. I just wanted to clothesline him, just say, "Shut up, man." you know. But yeah, she was a casualty of one of them. It was crazy, man. But yeah, that was a fallout. All right. So specifically on to Art Minx himself. All right. Got some questions for you. All right. All right.
Okay.
You overcame a CO mast on your first ship to complete how many years in the Navy?
24.
To complete 24 years career in the Navy, from fireman to chief warrant officer. All right. Now, after the mast, did you think you would finish or retire from the Navy?
After the Mast case, I was actually evaluating walking away from the Navy. I was looking at civilian jobs. I was at my 3-year mark when I went to Mast and lost my second class crow, lost my orders to Italy, put on restriction 30 days from transferring. I went to Mast. So I was starting to read while I was on restriction. I was evaluating possibly just walking away from the Navy. I had an EMC, William O'Neill. He was my first LPO. He finally made chief at like 19 years. He came back on board the ship and we talked, and he's the one who changed my mind. And I took my next set of orders to the Dwight D. Eisenhower. I picked up EM2 again, became the maintenance production manager for G4 on a carrier as a junior EM2. Had 6 senior second classes and 6 first classes working for me. And that's where I relaunched my career. I left there and just continued to go. Made first class at my 10-year mark, made chief and senior chief first time up, and then warrant the same year I made senior. So it kickstarted my career, but it also kickstarted my concern for sailors. That's why I always took, sailors under my wing is I didn't want the same thing to happen to me. So as a second class, I went to Simeo School, DAPA. Every class the normal chief goes to, I went to as a second class. Um, I couldn't let sailors go through what I went through without having somebody to fight for them. So that's where the Mast case took me.
Yeah, man. Eh, it's funny you say jumpstart. That's where he jump started. That's why I was like talking what he was like talking about when I was first class, how I went through this, just lull in my career. And then, after the Peterson, when I went to XOI, when I went to XOI and I got to the porter, I was like, ain't nobody my friend on here. I'm gonna go at it, right? And I went hard too. And that's when I finally made chief. But yeah, it takes something to just, jump. And he also talked about, taking care of sailors, and that's what it's all about, taking care of your sailors, looking after your sailors. And that's, what I got, remember Watkins and Boyton in the toolbox on the engine, you know,
So yes, I remember
artists like
that.
the Grim Reaper, artists like the Grim Reaper of sailors and stuff. When he used to call me on the phone, I'd be like, oh man, he called me on the phone. And when I got down there, I'm gonna have them on here as well. We scheduling time for both of them to come on because we could talk about this. What first thing I said to you, I was like, "Who know about this?" Because what I'm gonna do, I was going in and try to
Well,
pull that toolbox off the engine, but then the whole damn watch team know, you know, who knows the sound security done blabbed his mouth, so we had to settle it up. But it's
yep,
always trying to look out for people, to keeping them out the situation. They went to Mast too. They went to Mast. They
yep,
got basically a slap on that wrist. But it's always trying to look out for people at the detriment of my own career, man. Oh my gosh, man. Jeez, trying to help people out, boy. You putting yourself in jeopardy big time all the time. Like, oh my gosh, But I'm always
yeah,
trying to help somebody, And he's thinking writing all them damn counts just trying to help them, and then they still do the same craziness, right? But
yep.
anyway, back to you, Art. All right. Now, when did you realize it was time to retire?
When I got into the wardroom and I started seeing that things were not any, there wasn't much. I went to a carrier as the auxiliary technician, and I started seeing that there wasn't much change I could make in the wardroom. Um, and when I left there and went to shore duty, and my detailer said, "Oh, you're going back to sea. You're an engineering officer. You shouldn't be on shore duty." That's when I dropped my papers. I just couldn't. 14 years of sea duty, and I just couldn't do it anymore. You're telling me that because you can't keep LDOs in the Navy, that warrants are going to stay at sea? I just couldn't do it. I knew it was done. So,
It was a wrap. All right.
yep.
Everybody got their reason. Um, Now how are you enjoying retirement?
It's amazing. I wish I would have left at that 3-year mark. Um, it's crazy when my phone doesn't ring anymore. If a sailor calls me, it's to thank me for helping them through their. I still get phone calls of sailors promoting the chief and everything. I still hear from retired GSMC. What is it?
Yeah,
Barker,
Barker.
Barker. I hear from Wonton, or however you pronounce his name. I hear from him every once in a while. When I was on the carrier, senior people making senior chief and chief, they call me and thank me for caring so much about their career that they didn't see it at the time. So,
Yeah.
other than that, I enjoy not having my phone go off. You know, I still drive. I still drive a long way to work, but I don't think that will ever change. But
Yeah,
um,
you know, people live like 20 minutes away from Norfolk Base, and this man drives an hour to work every morning from North Carolina, right?
yes, from Gates, North Carolina to Norfolk.
Hour drive to work every morning, always on time, you know. And got people that would live like 20 minutes away from base, and they can't even be to work on time, you
Yep.
know. And I was like, man, don't even tell me, your excuse. You got dang Chief Minx live an hour away. He here every day on time, early, and you can't even get. You live 20 minutes away from the base. You can't even get here early. I remember Barker, GSMC now, GSM1 Barker. we fired them. We fired him.
Oh, I hated doing that, but yeah, I remember.
Probably was the best thing for him, but we fired him. We fired him. I was like, yeah. Got to go. And then Barker came back, I think a week or two later, something
Yep,
like that. I can't remember. He's like, hey, I'm ready to do this. And he was on point. He was on point
yep.
after that. And text me, say, mate, I was like, I knew you was on your way, buddy. But yeah, that was some good stuff though. Barker. Shout out to GSM C Barker. All right. Now tell the listeners how long it took you. Oh, well, we already said that. Are you currently employed?
Yes, I am. I work for HII Mission Technologies out of Newport News. So
What is
I
that?
still
What is
drive an
that?
hour.
What do they do? That's like the shipyard stuff.
It's so they're part of the Huntington Ingalls shipyard, but their Mission Technologies is a branch under Huntington Ingalls. So I don't work directly for the shipyard, but I do support the shipyard.
Uh-huh.
So
So let me see. I got some private chats here that I'm gonna show. All right. What is that? How do I do that? You've been speaking for 40 minutes. Would love to hear from guests. Oh, Brooks, yes, the kid kidding. Yeah, yeah, Velvet. You gotta get a. I can't. We can't hear you. I wanted to get you in here. Um, let me see. I want you to tell the crew the story about what the Iraqi told you during training on your IE deployment. Yeah.
oh man. Yeah, so I got to the Forrest Sherman as a first class, got there, did in-serve, and while we were in the middle of in-serve, got told I was going to Iraq. So I had 20 days to pack my bags and everything for training, and then I was going to ship off to Iraq. So got over there and got in country in March. Yeah, it was like March of 11, and I left October or November of 11. So I wasn't over there, but only like 7 or 8 months in country. But we were over there to train the Iraqi Navy. We had given them some small PC style ships. The Italians gave them some ships and everything. So we were training them, teaching them, and we're in the middle of class, and one of the Iraqi Navy sailors stands up, can't even understand a word they say, and they walk out of the class. And the interpreter looked over to me, and I asked him what he said, and he said that he was going to kill you. So yeah, that was the first. They were supposed to be, we're supposed to be there as allies and everything with them, but obviously nothing happened. But that was my first interaction with them. So
The people
you
we
never
trying to train
knew.
and protect.
Yeah, you never knew what type of people, which tribe they came from, and even then you didn't know, because most of them that were in the Iraqi Navy, a lot of them, their family members were in the Taliban. So it was hard to know who was the good ones and who weren't. So, but yeah, other than that, it was a good tour. I mean, I had to carry a gun all the time, but it was interesting, and they got some pretty cool guys over there. So
Yeah, imagine the guys you training. He said, I'm gonna kill you." That's
yeah,
crazy. How
just
long were you over there?
I was in country about 8 months.
Okay.
It was supposed to be longer, but they didn't sign they didn't sign our new agreement with them, so they pulled us out. We just pulled all of our stuff and left. So
That's crazy. Did you get did you get a medal or award for that IA?
I got a joint service commendation medal. That was and the normal. I got the Iraqi medal and stuff like that. Like I got normal stuff, but yeah, the joint service commendation medal was the only medal I got that wasn't
Okay.
normal.
All right. That's crazy. And anybody been to a IA? Anybody else been to IA? I tried to go on one. Everybody was like, "Man, you make all that money." I was like, I tried to go on one."
Shoot, I try to go on one 3 different times when I was in the reserves, and at the last minute they canceled the orders to divert funding to some other place. So, hey, I try.
Yeah, I did. I did try. I did try. He's like, "No, we need you, GSMC, here to sweat it out." Um. All right. Hey, I want you to tell the story about the egg sandwich in the chief mess.
Oh man! Oh, you want the secret out?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, we was going through the Chiefs,
We're
the
going. Yep.
season of the Chiefs. So go ahead, Art.
So we were going through the my chief season. I made chief in 2012, and there was 5 of us who made it. Me, Chief Witherspoon, 2 FCs, and a CTR. Um, and it was hard in the group to get the other 4 to want to play along at all during the season. Every time I was like, we should do this. Oh, no, we can't do that. So they left me senior. Daryl decided to take me off when they found out. They took me off the watch bill. So out of the 5 of us, I'm the only one that doesn't have to stand watch during the day. So I was the one in the mess the whole day. Everybody else was going off to watch. So Daryl used to save his eggs from breakfast, the hard-boiled eggs, so that if he didn't like what they had for lunch, he'd make an egg salad sandwich. So he made an egg salad sandwich this day. And I'm standing up in front of the Chiefs mess, and everybody's like, looking around at me and everything. And everybody thought I was going to go wash the dishes, go hide in the scullery. But as I'm walking up, I slide over behind Daryl as he's got his sandwich in his hand, about to stick it in his mouth. And I reach over his shoulder and I grab it and I take a bite out of it. And I look down at him when he looks up, and I said, "Don't say a word." And I dropped it in the trash can. So we'll just say I got a standing ovation that day.
The look
Yeah.
on my face,
Oh, the look on your face
my
was
my
amazing.
the only the only good thing about the day that I had was eating breakfast, lunch, and my dinner on board the
Oh
ship.
yeah.
That's my quiet time, and I don't care if the meal is crappy. You know, I just wanted to eat my meal in peace. I didn't want to be bothered by nothing, you know. And then out of nowhere, I'm eating my egg salad sandwich because the meal was crappy. And out of nowhere, he just grabbed there's a bunch of cheese up in there. I'm eating
It was
my
packed.
sandwich.
Yeah.
It was packed. He grabbed my sandwich. What would you say? What'd you say?
I said don't say a word, and then I dropped it into the trash.
And I was just looking at him like, is this motherfucker crazy? You should have
Well,
seen the look on my face. I was in shock. I was just in shock that somebody would do that to me.
you put it in the PQS. You guys put it in the PQS, and I'm the only one who got that signature.
I must have breezed over that because I didn't even see it. I was looking for something for me. I
Oh,
was like, they ain't got nothing for me.
I got
And
you.
then
You signed it. I still have it signed in my book.
that's crazy. Yeah. After you
You
did
signed
it.
Yep.
Oh man, but yeah, man, good times, man. I mean, you can have like some of the roughest times on a ship, but really, it will get you through the ship is, I was like, somebody gonna make me laugh today to turn this bad day into a good day. King might say some crazy stuff.
Oh
Somebody
my
might do something
lord.
crazy. And I was like, and I'll tell him, man, I was like, man, you just made my day, man. It was going bad, now it's good now. And I got a smile on my face. it's shipmates that make your day just go by. Yeah, I just like seeing some of these cats do some crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
But that's Art
Well,
Minx, y'all. Go ahead, Art. Go ahead, Art.
that was just like the night I found out I made it when you guys brought me in the mess and told me to take my seat, but everybody was sitting in the chair. I went over and emptied a chair just for me.
That was funny, man. Boy, they're good times and
Dave,
stuff.
old Dave Breakfield.
Shout out to Dave Breakbill out there.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody give it up for uh former EMCS Senior Chief Electrician's Mate, Chief Warrant Officer retired, Art Minx. Thanks for coming on and
Thank
interviewing
you.
with us, man. That was a real good. I know I talked most of the time, but I wanted him to, jump in because his memory is way better than mine, way better than mine. And that's why I talk most of the time. Um, but Art, our next order of business here would be the shipmate shout out. All right. This way you have your opportunity to shout out some shipmates of yours. So the floor is yours.
So there's a lot of them, but I guess most recently CE1 Lundy and UT1 Phillips from Tusclant over at Dam Neck. That's where my last command was. They were both first classes who worked for me.
Shout out. That's it. That's it, Art.
Yeah, that's it. There's two. I mean, there's a ton of them. I could go
Yeah,
for hours. So uh, a shout out to everybody who served on the Forrest Sherman while we were there. It was rough, but we got through
that's for real. Phew. I'll shout out myself for that one.
it.
Hey, you got somebody in Brooks?
Yeah, I want to shout out to one of my old recruiting buddies. He at the time he was OS2 pilot, and old Derek used to have us in stitches at trainings. But I think he's senior chief, retired pilot, and look forward to. I've been in communication with him recently, and I'll be glad to have him as a special guest on the podcast.
All
So
right.
shout out to Senior Chief Pollard,
All
retired.
right. Pilot, crazy. You got somebody, H Terrell.
Shout out Fireman Jameson Porter. I don't know if you remember James. That was
Yeah,
an engineer. Yep. Good old. If you had a good laugh, James was the person to make you laugh that day when things are going bad.
that's the first person I met off the portal when I came to check in. I
Yep.
came there as GSM1, and then James was like, man, why you checking in so late at night? Five and James, man. Oh my goodness, yeah, that dude was funny. He was funny, but a square, funny dude, really, really good person, really good person. Velvet, you got somebody? Can hopefully we can hear you. Come on, what you got?
I would like to shout out Warrant Officer Christopher Brown. I just attended his promotion ceremony. He was out of the field, he'll be working out of San Diego. So good luck to you. You deserve that. Just shout out to everybody that y'all shout out. Shout out to all, like, we do this. So thank you.
All right, all right. We got some really good interviews coming your way. All right, and this is what we like to do. We like to talk with our shipmates and their experiences, not just bad experiences. We got some good experiences coming. All right, so it's just things that keep you thinking. And my shipmate shout out before I forget is Chief Sale Frank and Chief Carpenter, DCC. I remember saying Frank. Yeah, I talked with him on Facebook. I never heard Sel Frank talk. When he's a fire, I never heard him talk. He smiled, and I asked, I was like, man, does that dude talk? Does he talk? But awesome DC man, great to serve, great guy. He didn't get involved with that craziness that was going back in our division. He was always in his own little world, but he was a real good guy. Shout out to Chief Sale Frank. And Chief Carpenter, congratulations on making Chief another real good guy as well. All right. Shout out to all them guys in our division from the faux show. And of course, everybody. Shannon, I can't remember her last name. She was on there. Man, Victor Williams. I just posted them FC combat guy up there doing cleaning stations. Shout out to them. Shannon, shout out to you. All right. But that was our shipmate shout out. Again, thank our guest, Art Minx, retired Chief Warrant Officer, former Chief Petty Officer, Senior Chief Petty Officer, electrician mates off the Forrest Sherman, for all that hard work, taking, unfortunately taking the brunt of all that crap that came with it, but you carried on like a freaking champ. All right. You kept on like a champ, and we could even give you a round of applause here. Yeah, we could give you a round of applause. We'll give him a round of applause. All right. But again, everybody,
Wait.
go
Hold
ahead,
up.
go ahead, go
Before
ahead,
we
go ahead.
go, I know I'm representing today my West Florence Knights, but this week belongs to. I want to send a shout out to all the the classes of Wilson Tigers alumni this week. They had a mighty fine homecoming, the biggest homecoming in Florence, South Carolina. So shout out to all the Wilson Tigers this week.
All right, all right. What's in Tigers? Yeah. Do you watch that, Cohen? You watch that Chat GPT? Chat GPT doesn't watch stuff like that. He too busy downloading information. Hey, Velvet. All right, man, like you one of the main question holders, man. I need you. I need a better connection next time. I need a better connection next time. I'm here talking like mushmouth off Fat Albert. I need you. All right. But again, thank to our guest, Art Minx. Next week we'll have DCF and Hutchison. Man, we got a bunch of stories out the Forrest Sherman, man. I mean, DCF and Hutchison, my number one damn MVP fireman, and we're gonna talk about the alcohol incidents on Forrest Sherman, and what is it? Open CO's mask for everybody to view on the flight deck. So that's gonna be interesting. All right, but again, from our very own super secret agent Velvet Love, for our own Chat GPT, I think that's right, Hurst Terrell, VA God himself, M. Brooks, and thanking our guest Art Minx for joining Snipes Castle, the U.S. Navy Sailors Podcast. Again, we out here just sharing our life experiences. Hopefully, we can help somebody. Like we spoke with Roundtree last week, and he got a wealth of information from Velvet Love, from H. Terrell, from M. Brooks. We sent him our emails so he can, go and apply for VA benefits. And he got a wealth of information right here. So we're here to help. We're here to let you learn from our mistakes so you won't make them in the future, to make you a better sailor. All right. And to have a good laugh with us. Or if you just don't know about the Navy, if you can learn something, because we do a lot of video on different aspects of the Navy, different ratings and whatnot. But if you joined us today, we thank you again, from all our crew and our special guest, Arthur Minx. Thank you for watching. And again, thank you for taking the time out of your day. Fair winds and following seas to everyone. We hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, I earn my